Trump and Putin, a comparative psychological and personality profile by AZLAN ADNAN. From the global stage of high-stakes diplomacy to their respective cults of personality at home, Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin are often portrayed as kindred autocrats, strongmen of different styles but similar instincts. Yet beneath the superficial parallels lies a study in contrasts. This article offers a comparative psychological and personality profile of these two dominant 21st century figures, exploring their upbringings, core traits, leadership styles, and public personas to illuminate the subtle yet critical distinctions between them. 1. Upbringing: privilege versus hardship. Donald John Trump was born in 1946 into a wealthy real estate family in Queens, New York. His early environment was one of material excess and aggressive paternal pressure. His father, Fred Trump, a rigid and calculating businessman, shaped Donald's world as one of transactional relationships, competition, and winning at all costs. This upbringing instilled in Trump a deep fixation on personal success and an externalized sense of self-worth, dependent on admiration and affirmation. Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin, by contrast, was born in 1952 in a communal apartment in Leningrad, now St. Petersburg, into post-war scarcity. His father was a factory foreman and former soldier, his mother a janitor. Putin's early life was marked by discipline, hardship, and the legacy of Soviet collectivism. He joined the KGB at a young age, aligning his ambitions with the machinery of the state. His psychology was shaped in a climate where survival depended on restraint, loyalty, and strategic invisibility. 2. Personality traits: narcissism versus stoicism. Trump's personality is often described as archetypally narcissistic. He exhibits a grandiose sense of self-importance, a need for excessive admiration, and a tendency to lash out at criticism. The Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, DSM-5, would likely highlight traits associated with narcissistic personality disorder, particularly in his public behavior: boasting, self-congratulation, lack of empathy, and a fragile ego. Putin, on the other hand, is cold, calculating, and emotionally controlled. His psychological profile aligns more with traits of Machiavellianism, strategic manipulation, long-term planning, and emotional detachment. Unlike Trump, who thrives on attention, Putin is comfortable operating in the shadows, preferring control over adoration. His mastery of silence and ambiguity is a hallmark of post-Soviet statecraft, instilling fear not through noise, but through the unknown. Leadership style: chaos versus control. Trump's leadership is improvisational and theatrical. He governs by instinct, preferring gut reactions over expert advice and media optics over institutional process. He thrives in conflict, but often for its own sake, creating enemies to galvanize his base and cast himself as the embattled hero. Trump's White House was marked by rapid turnover, impulsive decisions, and an ongoing war with the press. Putin's leadership is methodical, hierarchical, and deeply strategic. Every move is calibrated, often with years-long horizons. Power in Putin's Kremlin is centralized, opaque, and efficient. He deploys fear and loyalty with precision, maintaining a grip through a carefully cultivated aura of inevitability. He does not shout to be heard, he whispers to be feared. 4. Ideology and motivation: self versus state. Trump is ideologically fluid, guided more by personal brand and grievance than any coherent worldview. His rhetoric often centers on nationalism and populism, but his deeper motive is self-glorification. Politics is a stage, and Trump sees himself as its protagonist. This egocentrism leads to policy positions that shift according to public mood, personal slights, or media narratives. Putin, however, is a statist. While not driven by ideological purity, he views himself as a custodian of Russian civilization. His mission is to restore Russia's geopolitical stature and prevent encirclement by the West. Whether through orthodox nationalism or Soviet nostalgia, Putin's actions are guided by a sense of historical destiny, Russia as a wounded empire in need of resurgence. 5. Public persona and media use. Trump is performative. His presence on social media, particularly Twitter, now X, was a relentless stream of provocations, boasts, and counterattacks. He sees the press as both enemy and amplifier. The media is not just a platform, it is his battlefield. Trump's reality TV experience taught him that attention is power, even when negative. Putin's media strategy is more controlled and curated. His public appearances are rare but potent, often staged to convey masculinity, e.g., horseback riding, shirtless, judo, diving. His communication is filtered through state media, creating a managed mythos of the stoic guardian of Russia. Disinformation and cyber operations complement this strategy on the global stage. Now 6. Emotional regulation and interpersonal style. Trump is reactive, prone to outbursts, and emotionally volatile. His relationships are transactional, often defined by loyalty tests and public humiliation. Staffers have described an atmosphere of chaos and unpredictability, where favor can evaporate instantly. Putin is emotionally controlled and slow to anger. His interpersonal dealings are marked by cold calculation. Loyalty is rewarded, betrayal punished, but always through institutional means rather than emotional outburst. He inspires not affection, but fear and respect. 7. Image management and legacy building. Trump's legacy focus is personal branding. Buildings, books, television, and political movements all bear his name. His post-presidency has been a continuous campaign, seeking vindication and re-election. He is obsessed with how history and cable news will remember him. Putin's legacy is national and civilizational. He wants to be remembered as the man who reversed Russia's decline. Whether through territorial expansion, Crimea, Ukraine, military projection, Syria, or domestic stability, he is crafting a mythology of the strongman who brought Russia back from the brink. 8. Mutual admiration and mimicry. Despite their vastly different upbringings and leadership philosophies, a curious dynamic exists between the two men. Trump frequently expresses admiration for Putin's strength and decisiveness, often contrasting it with what he perceives as weakness in Western democracies. This has fueled speculation about Trump's own geopolitical allegiances and psychological projections. Whilst it is no secret that Trump admires Putin for all the qualities he himself lacks, discipline, patience, ideological clarity, it is becoming evident that he tries too hard to emulate him and fails spectacularly. In seeking to project Putin's stoic authoritarianism, Trump merely amplifies his own volatility, insecurity, and need for affirmation. What is calculated menace in Putin becomes theatrical bluster in Trump. This disconnect reflects not only a difference in personality, but a deeper divergence in psychological structure. Where Putin is shaped by years of bureaucratic conditioning and ideological utility, Trump is defined by a lifetime of branding, entertainment, and inherited privilege. Putin wields control as a survival mechanism. Trump seeks control as a substitute for inner security. Conclusion. Two strongmen, two realities. Trump and Putin embody two visions of modern authoritarianism. One is chaotic, loud, and ego-driven. The other is disciplined, cold, and strategic. One craves admiration, the other commands fear. One uses democracy's stage to grandstand. The other uses its collapse to rule in shadows. Understanding these two men is not merely an academic exercise. It is crucial to decoding the political theater of our time. In their personas and projections, we find a mirror to our own systems. How they reward spectacle, enable control, and shape the fates of nations through the singular psychology of powerful men. A heartfelt light. To every soul whose hand did give, you've helped me dream, helped me live. In darkest hours your light came through, with hearts so kind, so pure, so true. Your gifts, like stars in deepest night, have steered me gently toward the light. Each coin, each word, each silent prayer, a thread of hope, so rich, so rare. My eyes once dimmed now seek the skies, and slowly, clearer visions rise. Because of you, I dare to see the world again, its grace, its plea. Your compassion's flame will not just stay with me alone. It lights the way for others wandering through despair, to feel the warmth of selfless care. You've shown what love in action means, in quiet ways through giving scenes. You've built a bridge from soul to soul and made the broken feel more whole. So let this thanks rise like a song, a melody both soft and strong. May your example gently call more hearts to rise to give. To fall into the joy of lifting pain, of planting hope where none remains. Your kindness walks beside me still, a light, a love, a living will.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to show your support.